So it seems like you're very passionate about exercising, and I know it's an inseparable part of mind-body-soul connection, right? We need, you know, activity. We need some kind of active form of exercise so we can keep that connection going. Otherwise, if you just meditate all day long, then you just want to sleep all day long, right? You need some activity with it. Can you tell us a little bit, how do you motivate, especially a physician, right? Because your target audience is physicians. And trust me, from my banking days, I can tell you that they don't know how to manage money either. So it's not just the physique, right? So it's hard to motivate a regular person who has all the time in the world and still does not want to go to the gym, does not want to run. I know me, I go through my own phases. You know, I'll pick up yoga, and then a few months later, I'll be like, okay, I'll just run. And then I'll just run, and then I won't do anything for another 3 months. How do you keep them consistently interested to prioritize their health? Because I think that's where the juice is, right? Like that's where that caviar to motivate. How do you do that?
Absolutely. Well, to back up a little bit, I think there's two parts. I do a lot of nutritional counseling because I think your nutrition is what feeds your health, and it can eliminate a lot of the elements. Number two is, like you said, fitness. There's 3 tips I usually would say start with. Number 1, I would say start small goals. If you've never been to the gym before, if you've never done Pilates, don't go for 80 minutes and you're going to hate doing that. You're never going to go back. Just tell yourself, I'm going to try 15 minutes. 15 minutes, you can go and get the mail. You can do a lot of things in 15 minutes. So if you can start with a small goal, you can probably succeed and keep going because it's not as intimidating. Second one is to plan ahead. So especially for busy professionals, healthcare, doctors, you know, you start to work to end. Then you have to pick up your kids, then you have to cook, then you have to plan for their nighttime activities. There's never going to be time for yourself. So you have to look at your schedule and say, what is the best time that I think I can keep most consistently going? This might be waking up a little bit earlier than you want to, or this might be taking that 30 minutes right after work when you really just want to crawl into bed. So, but if you plan ahead, then you know you have a little bit more control over how your day is going to evolve. And that's the one thing that you can. You can look at your schedule. You can't control what comes at your schedule, but you can look at your schedule where that likely workout and exercise can come in.
But it's so easy to flake on yourself, don't you think? Sometimes I'll schedule it in, I'll pencil it in, I'll do it for a few days, and then I'm like, oh, it's just me, I can just skip that. You know?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
How do you fight that? How do you not skip yourself?
So, well, there's 2-part answers to this too, but that was leading to my 3rd tip. The 3rd tip is to have an accountability partner. It could be your best friend, it could be your mom, it could be your journal that you're logging, but to make a commitment to yourself or share it with someone, hey, I really want to do this, and I know that there's some days I do want to follow through. Can you push me? Yes. So you have to do that. And the second part is anytime you do anything for yourself that seems hard, you have to go back to what I had to learn, to love myself, to think that I'm worth the efforts that I'm putting in, that I'm worth being healthy, that I'm worth making that little time for me, and not to be so guilty and be so hard on yourself because you feel like it's taken away from other things you could be doing, but you have to take care, in my mind, I think you have to take care of yourself before you can release that energy and that the vibrance on everybody else.
What a great message. You're responsible for your energy and you're worth it.
Yes.
So that's incredible. You actually help physicians take good care of themselves. You know, who would have thought, right? What a great niche in a market that is so overlooked. But I would like to hear about the bigger vision behind it. I'm sure there's a big, we'll see where it came from your mother not really taking care of herself and taking care of everybody else, how it inspired you to actually start this kind of a mission in this world. And I'm sure there's a bigger mission behind it. Can you tell us a little bit about where you see yourself going with FitMed?
My vision for FitMed is to expand it to other health and actually other business professionals who are busy, who's never felt that it was okay to take time for themselves, who doesn't believe, wasn't told that it was possible to have a balance. And I will even tell you it's probably not possible to have a balance, but you can get a little bit closer to making that time for yourself so that you can have a better health going towards and reach any goal that you want. That is to keep up with your kids. Yes. Yeah. The big part of my program is to believe why you're worth it. And nobody can tell you you're worth it. Nobody can force you to do it until you realize that I'm looking at my baby and I want her to still take trips with her when she's 35, and I want her to be able to walk those steps with her and look at every landmarks. And that until you want that for yourself, nobody can do it.
Any tips you can suggest to start on that journey? Because it is a journey that needs to spark up somewhere, and you have to have a compelling reason. You have a very compelling reason. You had a mother who didn't care for herself, and now you made it your mission to make every other physician in the world care about their health so they can be there for themselves, their families, and their patients. Tell us a little bit about how to start that journey to self-love.
Yeah, wow, that is, I feel like everybody is trying to find that, and it's on that journey in some way. I definitely, if my mom had taken the time to tune into her body, all the warning signs, I'm sure with her medical knowledge, she would have been telling her own patients, go see a doctor, but she ignored it. And I wish that she had listened to her, because then she would have been here, and she may have been able to see me when I have a child, and when I get married, and when I start a family. I really wish that she was there, and she would be there. But because she didn't, I think that's a loss that we can never take it back. But she has taught me an invaluable lesson.
There's a blessing in it.
There is a blessing that, just by seeing how much she cares for her patients, knowing that what a difference that we, as a doctor, or as a friend, as a coach, can help with somebody who is trying to find that grounding. And another advice that I have for everybody, and I like to sing this again and again and again, is that it is totally okay to be yourself. It's totally okay to be yourself. And I think that is such a strong message, because in today's world, you look at TV, you look at social media, you look at the internet, there are so many ideals out there, and I think a lot of women and men, they compare themselves to the ideal. Am I making enough? Therefore, I'm not worthy. If I'm not pretty enough, I'm not worthy. And it doesn't matter what you look like or how much you make. And it's what matters most is what you really think of yourself. I think the only person's opinion who really matters is that you're being the person that you're born to be.
That's amazing. That's a very powerful message. And I think society has sort of done a great job for us to forget about who we are, because now we have to tune in into the 8-year-old self, to the 10-year-old self, and really remember what is it that we were good at.
Yeah.
And then not go by what mother said I should be, or what society thinks I should look like, or, it's very difficult to do that unconditioning, but underneath all of those layers is very much the true self, and it's important to tune into that. Absolutely.
You will never go out of style. Trends will die and pass, but you won't go out of style.
You will never go out of style. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all those nuggets of wisdom, the incredible tips that you gave us. And now everybody's ready to start on that self-love journey,
yes.
right?
I am so humbled. I'm so humble and grateful for this opportunity. And I love the work that you are doing and bringing together a community of women who have gone through all these things, and it's very empowering. It's just kind of giving us a snippet of how you can overcome.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's definitely not something I can do alone. I always say I'm only good for showing up and having fun. And there's an incredible list of women that actually helped me on this journey, and you're one of them. And thank you for being in our community and contributing in your own way.